All right. So earlier this week, you did an activity called the Six Kingdoms. And among those six kingdoms, there's one particular kingdom that we're going to focus on for today's assignment, and it is the animal kingdom. So please take out your science notebooks if you have them. We are going to be taking some notes about the animal kingdom today. So if you're following along with me, this is page 63. And I'm going to title this activity, The Animal Kingdom. Okay, so we're going to start with a definition. I'm going to write animal kingdom again. And here is the definition for the animal kingdom. They are multicellular, organisms with complex tissue organs and digestive systems. Okay, so that's the definition for the animal kingdom. Now, there are four main characteristics that help us when we're trying to figure out if something belongs to the animal kingdom, and it also helps us determine which two separate categories we can break down these animals into. So, those first four characteristics, I'm going to put 4 numbers on my paper. And these all start with B's, the letter B. So that'll kind of be helpful for us. They're called the 4 B's of classifying animals. The first one is their body covering. What does their body covering look like? Is it scales? Is it fur? Lots of different body coverings for animals. That is one characteristic that helps us classify animals in their kingdom. The second one is how they breathe. Lots of different ways to breathe, whether that be through gills in the ocean or through lungs on land. How they breathe. So that's our second B. We've got body, breathe. The third one is how babies are born. How does this animal have babies? And as you do some more research, there are lots of different ways for this to happen as well. The last one is, I'm going to put a parentheses with warm/cold. Do you know what's coming next? Warm or cold blooded. How do they keep warm? Are they warm blooded or are they cold blooded? So these are the 4 B's: body, breathe, babies, and blooded, that help us classify animals in the animal kingdom. Now, within the animal kingdom, there are 2 main categories that we break up these animals into. These 2 main categories are invertebrates and vertebrates. These are our 2 categories. So we are going to do some characteristics for each of them, and we're going to start with invertebrates. So let's start with, I'm going to write invertebrates again. So a general definition for invertebrates is everything that applies to animals in the animal kingdom, and more specifically, they are animals without a backbone. Vertebrae are those backbones in your spine, in my spine, that vertebrae going up and down. Invertebrates don't have that. Some other characteristics that go along with invertebrates is that all invertebrates have an exoskeleton. And that's like an outside covering on their bodies. Examples of invertebrates would be like an earthworm, a spider, insects, or a mollusk. Those would all be invertebrates. Now the second category are vertebrates, and they have characteristics that define them as well. So I'm going to put vertebrates down here. And if invertebrates are without a backbone, then vertebrates must be animals with a backbone. Okay, so vertebrates, some characteristics that define them are they have an internal skeleton. If we compare back to invertebrates, they have an exoskeleton, meaning their skeleton is an outside covering. Just like if you think of a beetle or an insect that's hard on the outside, that's its exoskeleton. Vertebrates, however, have an internal skeleton or an endoskeleton. And what this does is it provides support for the body and helps with movement. Another characteristic is that all vertebrates have a head and most have appendages. Or simply put, arms and legs. Some examples would include fish, all amphibians, so frogs and salamanders, reptiles, birds, and mammals. When we think of animals, a lot of the times we think of vertebrates Fish, amphibians, birds, mammals, those are what comes to mind, at least for me, when I think of what an animal is. But a lot of people forget or not realize that insects and worms, those are animals too. They are just invertebrates. Okay, so these are the notes for the animal kingdom section, and you can also find these typed out in the Google Doc on Google Classroom along with your invertebrate and vertebrate research for this week. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'll also be posting a picture of this along with the assignment. Thanks for watching.